On this episode of Elon Phoenix Weekly, we check in with an Elon alum who is finding work amid the pandemic.
We'll find out how good our student broadcasters are at commentating everyday activities.
And we'll get insight into letting fans back into sports facilities. Let's roll.
Welcome to another episode of Elon Phoenix Weekly. I'm Taylor Lundquist.
This week, a familiar face to Elon Phoenix Weekly had the opportunity to chat with Lance Stewart, a 1992 Elon graduate, multiple-time Emmy winner, and now a camera operator within the sport industry. Emmanuel Tobin Stewart sit down and talk about how to find work during the pandemic.
125 days, I was miserable. If I go more than a week or so without work, I tend to go a little crazy. And for that long, it was tough for me mentally to do because I'm so tied into what I do as my identity. I'm a camera guy, I work in television, and I go out and do things. And I think that hurt me a little bit mentally. I'm trying to battle back from that. But getting back to work has been great. Fortunate enough to get on the World Team Tennis bubble up in West Virginia during the month of July and shot tennis for 21 out of 22 days, which was phenomenal. It was great. Generally, I think the longest time I've ever been gone on a particular gig has been a week. And that's been a few different things. I've done the SEC baseball tournament for the last 4 years, and that's a week. We go down there and do that. And that's, 4 games a day, although we do a schedule where every camera guy gets a day off or a game off. So it's not quite as grueling. And then I've done CrossFit games for the last 6 years, and I'm there for a week, but that's a little different because I'm not a camera operator for that. I'm a replay producer, and I'm in the truck. But the 3 weeks was pretty interesting. It was kind of a bubble, but not really. They all the teams and a lot of the personnel were in at the Greenbrier in West Virginia, and they basically stayed there. The TV crew, we were about 15 minutes away. I've had a lot of friends that were in the soccer bubble, that were in the NBA bubble, that were in the WNBA bubble, and their experience is a lot different than what mine is or was, because they were pretty much contained in there. But it was a bigger bubble per se, because they could, at Disney, they had a lot of different restaurants and stuff that they could go to. We were not quite so fortunate with that. We were kind of limited in what we did, but we still had a good time, made the best of it. That helped out a lot. And then I came back home and didn't work again until week 1 of the NFL season. I did the Panthers home opener for CBS. I did the set day and the game day for that, so that helped. And then I've been working every weekend since then. I'm fortunate enough, I've gotten on a college football package again with ESPN. When I travel for college football, my game's on Saturday. So we travel on Wednesday. We travel and then we get to the hotel and we test. And we have to self-isolate in our hotel room for 24 hours after the test. And we make sure that, if we eat, we go pick it up to go, or we have it delivered. We don't come in contact with anybody. We don't even hang out with our crew members because we want to make sure that we're self-isolating and doing that sort of stuff. So that's a little bit different, but we test on Wednesday. It takes 24 hours for the results. Once we come back negative, we're cleared to go to work on Friday. We do our set day on Friday and then the game on Saturday. I've done a couple of NFL games, and with that, we've tested for that during that as well. The first week when I was doing set day for CBS on Saturday, I had to go in early Friday morning, get tested, make sure I was safe. And then I was able to go to work on Saturday. A couple weeks ago for the Panthers-Cardinals game, I went in about an hour and a half before my crew call, actually. I was there at 7 a.m. Sunday morning. They tested, went in the car, waited. We got an email saying, okay, you're all clear. And then we were able to go to work. So I think the NFL's done a pretty good job. And, Fox and CBS and all the broadcast entities have done a good job as far as testing their crews and making sure they're safe, because we don't want to be the reason that somebody on the team contracts the virus and the game gets canceled or they get sick or whatever. Hopefully the people at home realize what we're going through to be able to work again and to be able to bring, sports entertainment to people.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart. It's sure been hard during this times, but we're sure to keep our heads high moving forward.
Mr. Stewart has been an incredible resource since he graduated from Elon towards all of the students. Now, when we come back, a fun spin on sports broadcast and a little competition thrown in there as well. Stay tuned. This fall, sports are non-existent, but as broadcasters, we do everything we can to stay busy. Sometimes that involves commentating ordinary life. We have decided that this week we begin the first annual Everyday Life broadcasting tournament. 8 broadcasters that are part of Elon will match up and face off in a single elimination tournament to decide the best broadcaster of mundane activities. Viewers will be able to vote every week to decide who advances to the next round until a champion is crowned. Here's round 1. Welcome to round 1 of the first annual Elon Everyday Sportscaster Tournament. In the first matchup, we have Tellier Lundquist versus Gray Ost. Remember, every broadcaster is using the same clip, and voting will apply to see who moves on to the next round. So, let's dive right into the action with matchup number 1, Tellier Lundquist and Gray Ost. And now we see young Johnny Rhodes dusts off the scooper here at the Oak House. No residue left from the previous drink. Listen to the depth of that tone in the grinder. That is how you know it's a South American blend. He barely touches it with his finger. I'm not sure if that's going to be a violation. Damps it down well, and he goes again with the hand. Oh my, he might be violation for that. We'll have to check with the judges. Nonetheless, he goes under the drip, swirls the cup, and hears from a coworker. He's the manager on staff and diffuses that situation very, very well. The milk is already up, thought it was down below, now puts it in the drink. That's a lot of oat milk. This has got to be a latte, and he's doing it well. Is it iced? He can make up for the previous violation with a good scoop. And it's good, absolutely no spillage, puts the cap on. That is your caramel latte.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Elon Invitational here at the Oak House, as we have our main barista here who is 3 shots off the leaders, really looking to make up some ground here as he is grinding up another fantastic cup of coffee, working on his 3rd caramel latte of the day. Now he must put this one in the bag here as he really grinds up those coffee beans really well. He's going to stick that in the machine, really looking for another great cup of coffee here. He needs some kind of momentum to get within a few shots of the leaders, as we have some commotion coming from fellow baristas. Didn't know that was necessarily legal for them to be messing with his rhythm, as we also have some more commotion coming from the gallery, as he's really going for this nice transition with the milk pouring there. Really working well, really makes the transition well. And he's going over, he's going to put the ice in. Here's the tricky part. Going to get a nice scoop of ice. Really does it well. A nice little cold rush there of coffee. Puts the lid on. Great finish.
Remember to vote for either Tellier or Gray to see who moves on to the next round. Whoever does move on will see the winner of this next matchup between Javik Blake and Emmanuel Tobe. Here they are.
Welcome back to Mundane Commentary from Oak House, the campus of Elon University, as we see the star of the shift today, the barista, masked up, 2 t-shirts on, grinds the coffee into the holders. He gets his ingredients ready to make a hot cup of coffee. Really puts that forearm strength to use as he'll press it down into the bottom of the grinder. Now we'll apply it to the hot water and places the cup under and presses the button, and we're ready to go. Coffee starts to spill out, filling up the bottom. A little bit of conversation going on meanwhile. A little bit of confusion. Takes a couple of steps back. And now goes to find the oat milk. Finally does. And he'll apply it to what looks like is going to be a nice cup of coffee. Screws it back on, and it will be a cup of iced coffee. Grabs the ice. Throws it into the cup. Fills it up. And that will be a full cup of coffee from Oak House.
And we have a beautiful piece of coffee being made that we're cleaning out the inside of the scooper. We're filling it up with now the coffee grains now. Look at that dedication on his face. Make sure there's just the right amount. Compresses it, pats it down, flips it over. It's like a Dairy Queen in here. Puts it in a machine, then puts a cup in the machine. Look at him working. Manager has asked a question. Manager still asking a question. Both shake their head at the exact same time. You could tell they have great chemistry. He gets ready, grabs the milk and cream, puts it in the cup, still making great hand-eye coordination. Gets ready. He's putting in the ice. He's headed towards the end zone. Puts it in. Puts on the top. He's getting ready to serve it. Oh, and it's been served.
And on the other side of the bracket, the first matchup that we see is Drew Gentry versus Colby Cook. Here is Drew, followed by Colby.
Welcome to the Oak House Coffee Shop right across the campus from Elon University. I'm Drew Gentry. We got Barry the barista. I don't know if that's his real name. Filling your coffee grinds right to perfection, making sure that there's no extras, gives it a little press to push them all in for that perfection of a flavor that they create over there. And into the machine it goes. Barry the barista got multiple drinks going at one time, a multitasker indeed. Seems to be distracted by what's going on with his co-worker. Obviously doesn't know what he's doing, shakes his head in disapproval, wipes off his hands, grabs that milk, pour it to perfection, no need for a measuring cup, and now it's time to take that latte to the ice stand. A perfect scoop here by Barry is what is needed. All the way to the top, press that lid on and into the hands of yours truly.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the Oak House. We have a barista preparing a wonderful treat for us. He's going to clean out the inside of a shot press and grab some beans, some espresso grinds, probably a Central American or African blend from that espresso grinder. And now, as you'll see, he's going to take that out in just a second. Here he goes, and he's going to tamp that down for us and get maximum pressure going into that barista machine. Beautiful form on that tamp, sir. 0 grounds on the side of that shot press. That was absolutely fantastic form. Now he's going to get some beautiful shots, I'm sure, with wonderful crema on top. Oh, and on the side of the bar, he's grabbing a cup with what looks like pre-prepped shots for an iced latte. What is he going to do next? Oh, he's grabbing the almond milk. He's going to put a splash of almond milk in that latte. That is beautiful form, sir. 0 spillage, absolutely 0 spillage. He's going to take that over to the ice maker and plop a few cubes of frozen water on that. Top it with a lid. Oh, and he's topping it with a lid. That is fantastic form. And he slides it across the bar to the customer. Wonderful form, sir. Fantastic job. What a finish.
And our final matchup of this round, Tom Castle versus Chase Williams. Tom Castle will begin, followed by Chase Williams.
Live from the Oak House here today, as we looks like our man is going to quickly clean out his cup, get ready for a nice set of freshly ground coffee beans. He's getting himself into position. Let's just take a quick peek at those coffee grounds, looking fantastic. Put a little bit of pressure on them, getting nice and secure, so that way when we start that brew, it will be looking fantastic. He's going to get himself into position, get the cup right underneath it, and begin the roasting process. And it looks like he might actually have an iced drink right there as he quickly communicates down his line. He does have an iced drink. Let's see what will come of that. Will he quickly put in the ice first? No, he decides to go with the oat milk instead. Controversial decision here, going with the oat milk instead of the ice first. He'll quickly seal up that oat milk, bring it over there. Let's see how it works on the delivery of the ice. Pours it in perfectly. Lid on top. That is ready and set to deliver.
You can see the Oak House coffee worker cleaning up the measuring device so he can add some more ground up coffee beans to it and prepare it for the next cup of coffee. A little bit of clean going on in the background as he gets that ground up coffee beans, as he's going to smush it down here, really get as much as it packed in as possible, dumps out any excess, and then adds it to the coffee machine, getting ready to prepare yet another cup of coffee during his shift. A little bit of communication going on with the co-workers. It looks like two of them say no there as we're checking, make sure everything's going on quite fine. It is. He's now adding the milk to the last cup of coffee, just trying to get the correct amount. He looks at it, he likes the color, and you can see he's moving it over to the ice machine. Will it be 1 scoop of ice or will it be 2? Very critical. It's looking like maybe just 1, as he does add it, and there we go, gets it to the customer.
And that's all here from round 1 in the Elon Everyday Sportscaster Tournament. It sure is going to be a fun couple of weeks. Make sure that your voice is heard and you vote for your favorite voice. Results will be revealed in next week's episode.
When we come back, we debate when the right time is to allow fans back into the stadium and how these facilities can best prepare for their return. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Elon Phoenix Weekly. As the questionable return of college sports is answered, the next logical question is the attendance of fans. In this week's Sport Management Minute, we get a little insight into how conferences are preparing to enhance the atmosphere while adhering to new protocols.
I think initially, people are going to be a little hesitant and nervous to go back into facilities, in particular indoor facilities. Right? I think we're going to have a different kind of process we're going to have to train fans again based on new protocols or even when things get safe again to build trust up that you can come to these things and you can be safe. So I think initially fan attendance may be something we really have to pay attention to. We may see a drop, but I also would expect fans, because this has been taken away from us, I do see fans really wanting to view the live experience again and to be a part of things socially, to be around friends and family, to be around people that you have a common interest with. I think we are going to see fans want to do more of that, but I wouldn't be shocked if this took a little bit of time once we are able to go back. I do think facility managers and organizations are going to have to really think about how we bring fans into a facility and how we let them exit and how we let them engage, how we allow them to use concession stands and merchandise and things that are just, things are going to be different and maybe, in some cases, hopefully better. But I do see attendance kind of taking its time. And then once we can assure fans that things are fine, I would expect people to want to get back out and resume what might have been a normal life for them prior to all of this.
I don't know, but all I can tell you, Taylor, is that I hope we are allowed back into sporting events soon, because I'm going crazy.
Yeah, Taylor, I can't wait to get back into arenas. Well, that's all for now. On the next show, we'll have a look at how the football team is preparing, how a student has taken full advantage of opportunities in sport here at Elon, and another edition of the Sport Management Minute.
If you missed anything, check out all of our episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/Elon Phoenix Weekly, or by searching on any streaming channels for Elon Com. Head to elonphoenix.com to learn more about upcoming games and exciting successes for Elon Athletics, and be sure to follow us on our socials at Elon Phoenix Weekly.
Thanks so much for joining us this week on Elon Phoenix Weekly. On behalf of our entire crew, that's Taylor Schmidt, I'm Taylor Lundquist, and we'll see you next time.